this is arguably the last time these two 850Rs will be together. Tomorrow, my 96 automatic is selling, and I'm going to be holding on to and driving and enjoying and making a little bit of a project out of this 97 5-speed manual. In this video today, I wanted to talk about some of the differences between these two cars, how I've modified my automatic car, some of my favorite modifications that I've done to it, and kind of my plans for the 97 5-speed 850R. Also, just an opportunity to drive both back to back, kind of get a comparison between the two. You can see pretty clearly the difference in paint. This red on my 97 is pretty good, but it's nowhere near the quality of paint correction that this has had. This also has a ceramic coat on it, and it's almost like they're different colors. This is almost oranger and brighter and lusher, and this is a little bit more dull. Pretty obvious in the daylight. Not sure how well it comes through on camera, but let's take the 96 for a drive first, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, so while we're in the automatic car, let's talk about my favorite modifications that I've done to this. Number one on the list are the IPD sway bars. They really improved ride quality. The car seems to float over bumps a little bit easier and more comfortably than my manual car with stock suspension. And it aids a ton with turn-in and overall handling sharpness. This thing really handles well. It's so direct, it's so sharp, it's so well dialed in. Getting those sway bars installed is a little bit of a pain. You have to drop the front subframe, and they're not cheap. They're about $400. If you can grab them on sale, that's usually the best way to go. Definitely something that I want to do to my manual car eventually. Probably not a huge priority right now because it handles pretty well as it is, but there's some other things I want to get dialed in first, like the brakes. That's probably my second favorite thing on this car. 850s have always been a little bit under-braked. They just, for the power that they put out, they just don't quite have what is needed to bring them down from speed, especially with the 280 millimeter brake setup. These 302 millimeter rotors, the pedal feel, the way they come down from a stop with the Porterfield R4S pads, the stainless steel lines, it's a really big difference in the way the car reacts under braking. And definitely one of the first things I'm going to be doing to my new car. Third, I love this IPD turboback exhaust. It's a little bit drony, but it sounds good and it really wakes up the car. You get a little bit more throttle response, a tiny bit of extra horsepower, and it just sounds proper. Being able to hear that 5-cylinder turbo is a blessing. And I will say, even though this is an automatic, it's quite a good automatic. It's just that the only thing I haven't quite enjoyed about the auto is that the gear ratios are a little bit funky. You really have to push this car hard to hear it, listen to it, and with just 4 speeds, there's really not a lot of opportunity to stay in the power band also. So really, that's my only complaint about the automatic in this, is just the gear ratios. The 4-speed versus a 5-speed. With the manual, you just have such a better ability to stay in the power band, and the revs and everything are just better suited to the engine and the turbo. That said, though, this is a really good automatic. It's super responsive. It shifts incredibly quickly, especially for being in the mid-90s. I have enjoyed it these last few years. It's nice to just get into it, cruise. Sport mode makes a pretty big difference. The transmission programming. And just feel those shifts. They're so fast. Between the two, though, these are just two amazing cars. I think probably one of the first things I'm going to be doing is just throwing an IPD exhaust on my manual car, just because I want to hear it. I want that experience of being able to Listen to that 5-cylinder wail away. There's a little bit of a difference in final drive ratios here. In fourth gear, I'm at about 2200 RPM at 60 miles an hour. In fifth gear, in the manual car, I'm at about 2500 RPM at 60 miles an hour. So a couple hundred RPM there. Just love how flat this is around cornering. You can also dial up these sway bars to stiff. Probably not a good idea for street use, but on the track it'd make for a really pretty good handling car. Like I said earlier, this IPD exhaust is a little bit drony, but not as bad as it is on a wagon, for example, where everything is open. At least with the sedan, you have a little bit of a sound buffer with the rear seats and the trunk and everything, and the drone isn't as bad. You can also add some sound editing in there too. Probably not something that I'm going to be doing with the new car, but it's an option. This thing just drives so nice. The new owner is a lucky guy. He's going to take good care of it, keep it clean, keep it maintained. Staying in Michigan, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Nothing's done until it's done, but I've got a deposit and should be sold tomorrow. Alright guys, so that pretty much sums up some of my favorite modifications and kind of a comparison between the automatic and manual transmissions on these cars. Really, I've always preferred the manuals. I think they're just ideally suited to this engine. This 5-cylinder is just screams and begs for slightly shorter gear ratios, and it's nice to be able to shift your own gears and really listen to that engine sing. Alright, let's switch over to the manual car and we'll go for a drive. Say goodbye to the 96 automatic. This will probably be my last video in it. It's been a good run, but on to new and better things. Okay guys, let's take out the manual car and do a little bit of a comparison here. And of course we do have a slightly more powerful car here. This does have a tune. Boost has been upped a little bit from stock. Still the stock turbo and everything. Feels like home, guys. Feels like home. So really, no modifications to this. This is about as stock as it gets, brake, suspension-wise. There's a couple things I want to get dialed in. I want to do brakes at some point in the next couple of months. The first thing that's going on this car is the turbo back exhaust. I just want to be able to hear that 5-cylinder scream. And I'm just getting some general maintenance things taken care of. Oil change, fuel tank leak, stuff like that. Overall, this car is in such good shape and it drives so nicely. It'll be fun to kind of get it dialed in like my automatic car has been over the years from a dynamics standpoint. You never know. I might do a little bit more of a track-friendly build with this car. It'd be fun to be able to take this out on track, and with the open diff, it won't really be able to put its power down very well, but getting in a limited slip will be quite an ordeal. We'll see what the budget allows for that someday, but that might come with a little bit more power too. We'll see what happens. Until then, though, right now my plans and goals for this car are pretty much just to get the suspension dialed in, the brakes dialed in, like I do with all of my vehicles. These 850s are just so good to drive, and they handle so well for a front-wheel drive car when they're properly set up that it's a pretty enticing way to go. I can feel a little bit of a difference between the 205 and the 215 section tires on this car versus the automatic. This has the 2015s, and it's just a little bit more forgiving over bumps and potholes and road imperfections. That extra sidewall gives me a little bit more confidence too, to be able to drive this and not get a blowout, or if I hit a pothole, it's not going to damage a rim as easily. And 215 45/17 is a little bit more of a common tire size. I like that I can swap tires out between this and my BRZ if I ever want to. Alright guys, so same route here. Give us an idea of the handling, the braking that we just did in the automatic car. Love that you can heel toe downshift in this. Can't wait to get that exhaust on here. So there's just a little bit more effort and push from the front end with the stock sway bars. This definitely feels faster, a little bit more powerful, more eager to pull and accelerate out of the corner. Brakes on this car look pretty fresh, pretty new. Pedals nice and firm, and they stop pretty well, but the effort required is a little bit more than it is on my car, my automatic. This thing has a really nice power level right now. It's so good to drive. Definitely being held back a little bit by the BRZ's stock tires. There's no getting around that. Maybe I'll throw on a stickier set after these wear out. Especially if I want to take this to a track. Track day in the 850R. Oh, that's been a dream of mine for a while. I go on YouTube and watch all the Nürburgring, Nordschleife videos of everyone hustling their 850Rs around, passing GT3s, passing M3s and everything. I'm like, oh man, that'd be the ideal situation. Because all those guys have R compounds on their cars. This will never be a track build, but track worthy and streetable. There's a nice balance in there somewhere. Yeah, the handling definitely isn't bad on this. It feels pretty good, honestly. I could get the alignment dialed in a little bit better with some more negative camber and camber plates or something like that, but as it sits, it's in pretty darn good shape. I just love being able to roll my own gears, finally. Alright guys, well, so, you know, we've got some plans for this car. want to get the exhaust on, see what that's like, and then I'll probably do brakes next. Sway bars, maybe I'll pick those up over the winter, get them installed at my local shop, and we'll see what happens with like a fall sale on IPD or anything like that. There's a couple things I want to do with the cooling system. Definitely want to install a new expansion tank and level sensor, and just make sure the cooling system on this is nice and fresh. Otherwise, guys, that's about it. I'll keep you updated on this car. Again, I'm going to be filming way more videos on this manual 850R than I ever did on my automatic, because I kind of want to document what it's like to own this thing and start a little bit from scratch with a new car. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. The 96 will be missed, but definitely it's not something that I really need or want to hold on to, particularly after having this. I'm trying to be a little bit of a minimalist these days, which is both freeing and just I like not having to have lots of stuff or have to worry about lots of stuff in my life, and getting rid of that 96 is part of that. So oh yeah, I'm honestly not sure how much it would get driven. It is such a great car though. Cool, guys. Well, hey, that's it for this one. We'll see you in the next 850R video. Stay tuned for some more POV test drive reviews. I have a Veloster N this week. That might be an interesting comparison to this. 20-some years apart, front-wheel drive, turbocharged beasts. I don't know, probably not something that I'm really going to make a video on, but the new Veloster N is pretty darn good. And it's been good to get a street drive in that when I've pretty much only ever driven it on track up until this point. Stay tuned for that video. That'll be up soon. Until then, we'll see you guys later.